Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another AEW Dynamite review of Rampage Ramp Up. My name is Carly. You can find me at CarlyB88 on Twitter. We're here with Connor tonight, and you can find him on Twitter at AEW FanGuy18. And we are a part of the All Elite Zone podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at All Elite Zone 1. That's All Elite Zone 1. Go on to Twitter, give us a follow. We're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify as well. So give us a like and subscribe. We're super happy to be here with you tonight. AEW Dynamite on 5/18, that was yesterday, was in Houston, Texas. That's actually where I was born and from. Love Houston. We're going to jump right in. The first match was an Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinals match between Samoa Joe and Johnny Elite. He was the Joker for the night. I was confused. I didn't know who Johnny Elite was. My husband had to explain it to me because I don't watch a lot of WWE. So he told me that he's formerly known as John Morrison. Is that right, Connor? He was a tag team partner with The Miz previously.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
I wasn't super impressed by what I saw.
I thought it was Johnny Gargano because it said Johnny.
Yeah, I think somebody was tagged incorrectly on Twitter as well, is what I heard.
Yeah,
it was a good match. It wasn't a bad match. I think there were some mistimed moves, but overall, I mean, it was a good opener. It was a good quarterfinals match. I thought it would have been maybe a better like qualifying match earlier on, but I thought overall it was a good opener.
Yeah, I liked the match. Of course, there was a couple spots that could have been better. Another one spot where he went up to the top rope and Samoa wasn't really close enough to him, and he kind of botched it a little bit.
I saw that, yep.
But I'll give the match 7, 8.
You're more generous than I think I gave it maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10, but I started off the night pretty tired, so maybe I wasn't in the most generous of moods.
I've always liked, well, I don't know what to call him, Johnny Elite, Johnny Impact, Johnny Nitro, Johnny. He's got so many names, but I like John Morrison, but he's not signed to the company. It appears like.
No, I heard that as well. He's not signed.
No.
But I do want to preface our show by saying that even though we give out ratings and sometimes they're silly, sometimes they're serious, that all of our ratings come from a place of love and respect for professional wrestling. We at All Elite Zone podcast understand that wrestlers put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. So while we do rate matches and sometimes they can be critical, sometimes they're fun, we do it from a place of respect and love for professional wrestling. So with that, we will continue on to, we have to finish with what that match was all about. So winner of that match was Samoa Joe with the Muscle Buster. We saw that match end with Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and no, I think it was just them. Oh, they came down to the ring at the end of the match. We saw Jay Lethal with the lead pipe. Continuing on that feud with Samoa Joe. And then Trent, Chuck Taylor, and Rocky Romero came down as well. I wasn't sure what that was about. Do you have any insight into that? Because I wasn't
I know on Rampage or Dynamite, or who was it? It was Samoa Joe versus Trent, and Samoa Joe won the match on Rampage, and then Jay Lethal and all them came out. Then Trent and Chuck Taylor and them made the save for Samoa Joe. So I guess they're kind of connected in this round.
Oh, yeah.
Because they made the save for Joe that one time.
That's right. So I think we'll see the continuation of that feud and maybe that partnership continue on. But let's see. So Samoa Joe proceeded into the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Second match of the night was Hangman Adam Page versus Takeshita. We saw him Takeshita fight before with Jay Lethal, which was, I thought, an excellent match. Really highlighted Takeshita's skills. Hangman Adam Page, we saw him on commentary the previous Dynamite while CM Punk fought John Silver. So CM Punk returned this week to be on commentary for Hangman Adam Page's match. I thought it was an excellent match. I was telling Connor before the show started that it was my favorite match of the night. I think Hangman Adam Page is in his prime. I think he looks great. I think he's exciting to watch. And Takeshita, he didn't come from New Japan. He came from a different promotion, didn't he? What promotion did he come from?
DDT. It's in
That's right.
It's in Japan, but it's not New Japan.
Yeah, yeah. It was a hard hitting match. There were some really like cool spots. There, like Takeshita had this amazing power bomb that was just like, I mean, it wasn't a Wardlow power bomb because his are different, but it he had like Paige by like the seat of his pants, and that double clothesline that they did that like kind of knocked each other out was just like so cool, just so fun to watch. Yeah, it was amazing. I thought it was a great match. It was my favorite match of the night. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Connor, what'd you think?
It was a very good match. What's his name? I know I'm going to butcher it. The guy Hangman I went against.
Oh, Takeshita.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
I've seen him a little bit on Dark. He was on Rampage against Jay Lethal, and from the first time I've seen him, he's been very, very good. He's put on a lot of good matches. I know I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega probably put the word in for him to get an AEW, but he's put all 5-star matches. I thought since he's been in AEW. But yeah, I give that match a 9 out of 10. It was definitely a 5-star match.
Oh yeah, it was great to watch. I'd almost give it a 10 out of 10. I don't know. It was my favorite. The winner of that match was Adam Page with the go to sleep. A nod to CM Punk last week winning against John Silver with the buckshot lariat. So now we're looking ahead to Double or Nothing, where they will face off against each other for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So it's building up nicely. I still don't know who I want to win. I don't know who they're kind of pushing us to root for to win. There was a nice interview with Adam Page after the match where he talked about Takeshita and said, Americans are lucky to have him. I thought that was a really nice little interview that I caught on Twitter. Moving on, third match of the night was Keith Lee and Swerve versus the Workhorsemen. I wasn't even aware that match was happening. I thought I'd memorized the whole card beforehand. It was over fairly quickly with the winners being Keith Lee and Swerve. I don't even remember what move it ended with.
It was when Keith Lee he had him up, and then Shane Strickland did the coup de grace, Finn Balor style, but with Keith Lee holding him up, and then I don't know what you call that move.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple finishers I think throughout the night that I was like, what happened? What was that? I kept turning to my husband. I'm like, what was that move? Which I don't normally do because I'm pretty familiar with them all. So really I think the purpose of that match was to establish what we're going to see at Double or Nothing, which is what was announced at the end of the 3-way tag team match that's going to happen. At the end of the match, we saw my man Ricky Starks come down with Powerhouse Hobbs, and then a very timely arrival of the Jurassic Express, accompanied by Angry Dad Vibes Christian Cage. A little bit of excellent trash talking happened. I believe Ricky Starks was called a bar of soap wearing a pearl necklace. My favorite line of the entire night. 10 of 10 to Swerve Strickland for coming up with that one. Christian Cage tried a little bit of trash talk, but it did not come off as well. I don't know. Nice try, Dad. That should be a really good tag team triple threat tag team match. I was really hoping to see FTR at Double or Nothing.
They should have been in that match. One more of those teams should not have been. Because like in the rankings, how is FTR number 1?
Yeah, and
and they don't get a title shot.
Yeah, and how did I get it Keith Lee and Swerve just got there. They got into the top 5, and that's awesome. And they're great tag teams. I would be so happy to see either one, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, or Keith Lee and Swerve have the tag team. I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled either way. I think both of those teams are amazing and great. But yeah, no, FTR is amazing. So
yeah,
I think they should at least be included. Come let them sit at the table. if any one of those 3 teams won, I'd be stoked. But like, why can't FTR be included too? It's just all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, if you're out there, maybe watching my humble podcast somewhere, like if you could just like throw them in, that would be great. If you don't mind, thanks. Anyway, they also set it up for next week on Dynamite for a 3-way match between Jungle Boy, Ricky Starks, and Swerve. I don't know what they're fighting for. They're just fighting maybe just for the hell of it. I'll still watch the shit out of that match.
That's going to be a good match.
Yeah, it'll be a great match. I'll really enjoy it. And just people flying everywhere. It'll be awesome. The next segment was the 10 lashes for Wardlow, and
It wasn't like Cody. It wasn't.
I know. I don't know how many comparison
couldn't.
little videos I saw on Twitter, but they weren't kind.
Yeah, Cody couldn't take 10 lashes, and Wardlow just wasn't nothing to him.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't inspire me to go buy any of the fake Cody tattoos, temporary tattoos to slap on my neck. Sorry, that's mean. So do you, Cody, wherever you are. God bless. But yeah, no, the segment did exactly what it was meant to do. It made me hate MJF more and love Wardlow all that much more. I love to hate MJF, and in that segment, I really just hated to hate MJF. He's the worst. Yeah, go ahead.
He did the same thing at the very end. He did to Cody. Like at the very end, he low blowed him. That's what he did to Cody.
It reminded me at the end of the CM Punk segment where, he had the T-shirt and he was just like pouring his heart out, and then CM Punk came out, gave him a hug, and he just low blowed him, and it was like, oh yeah, it reminds you like MJF really is just like the worst and best heel we've seen ever.
Yeah.
But oh god, he's the worst. And yeah, no, he did his job. He did his job good. Fourth match of the night was another Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinal match. We saw Kyle O'Reilly versus Rey Fenix. That was a great match.
That was a very good match.
Yeah.
Before we went on the air, that was my favorite match. I thought. I did not know who was going to win.
I didn't either. I didn't have like a hard.
Yeah, like it wasn't.
I knew Samoa Joe was going to win.
Yeah. Like I didn't know hey, I got this guy when he's totally going to win. Like it was 50-50 really. Like I really didn't know who was going to win.
I enjoyed it. I think maybe it was Excalibur or Tony Schiavone that was saying last night that like Kyle O'Reilly has like Bryan Danielson vibes. Yeah. He really has that fighting style, and it's really fun. It's fun to watch. It's dynamic and interesting. And Rey Fenix very much has his own style, and it was cool to see them paired together. And I think though when Rey Fenix fights people who have like different wrestlers who have that very, submission based style and more technical style, that it tampers down his like off the ropes.
Yeah.
So it's not quite like as visually as exciting, but it's still a great match nonetheless. But in any case, we did see Kyle O'Reilly pick up that win with like this cool modified armbar. Yeah. He had like Rey Fenix's leg wrapped up in it, which was pretty neat. So he will go on to face Samoa Joe in the semifinals. Moving on. Oh, that match, I think I gave a pretty high one. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. Right below the Adam Page match.
Yeah, it's hard to choose between those two matches.
Yeah.
I can't pick which one I like better.
That was followed by the Jericho Appreciation Society and Regal face-to-face segment.
That was something.
I had a lot of feelings about it.
I mean, I will say that Jericho, that's the first time he's put on a very good promo in a long, long time. But
feelings.
I don't know. It was. Like, how did it hurt your feelings?
I just had a lot of feelings about it.
Oh,
It was just like kind of hard to watch. Like it was a good
yeah.
promo and he was very healing. It made me not like him, which I think is like the point. Um, I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't good until everybody started like going at each other. Like I just wanted Jericho to shut up, which I guess is like the point of it, right? Um, I liked when it got to. I liked when he was alluding to like the stadium stampede. Mox was just like, "I'm
Yes.
not doing that shit."
Like, that's only for, like, stadiums, like,
Yeah,
stadium stampede.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know where this is all going. We noticed a little bit of infighting between the Blackpool Combat Club and I saved my one. It'll be very interesting where this is going to go. That's my one for the night. I don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing with this. There were matches going to come out of this. Did they say what match is going to come out of this or what they're doing with it?
An anarchy, like, basically like a Falls Count Anywhere match, but fans were chanting blood and guts
Blood and
because that's
guts, yeah.
like, that's what they were setting up for, 5-on-5, and I don't know what's gonna come out of that.
There was also a notoriously absent Wheeler Yuta. I don't know where he was in the mix.
Um, he's supposed to not be at Double or Nothing, like, that's why they had Eddie Kingston and Santana
Mm.
Ortiz.
Any segment with Eddie Kingston in it is a great segment to me because he just adds, his Eddie Kingstonness to it, which is amazing. I love Santana and Ortiz. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with this. And it's great though. It's great. I will say though, if you or a loved one is struggling with drug addiction or alcohol use, check out AA.org or NA.org or download the meeting app where you can find a meeting near you. So we'll see where that goes. It should be interesting. That's the one I get for this night. And I promise not to overuse that phrase anymore. Fifth match of the night. This was the one I was most excited to see. It was Britt Baker for the Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinal matches versus the Joker. The Joker was Maki Ito, and I was excited. I really like Maki Ito. I think she's fun. I think there was a lot of mixed reactions on Twitter. I don't know who I expected it to be. I thought it might be Athena, Ember Moon.
Yeah.
But I think Maki Ito is super fun. There was a great picture circulating around Twitter of Hook, Maki, and Danhausen together, which I thought was pretty iconic.
Yeah.
What do you think of the match?
It wasn't the best match, but it was a good match because I would have hated for Athena to debut
And lose.
Her lose in her debut.
Exactly.
So, like, that's the good part about it, but I just cannot get behind her, like, coming out and singing. And here's the thing, like a lot. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like some of the Japanese women cannot speak English lots of times. I think Sheeta's the only one. So if you're trying to engage a story, how are you? I mean, Pentagon has Alex Abrahantes,
yeah,
but Penta can speak English. I don't know why they doing that, but it just might be a little hard to tell a story. But I thought the match itself was good, but I'm just glad it was not Athena or someone big because they would have lost in their debut. But I would give it a 7 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 out of 10, just because I love Britt. I thought the match was good. I thought it was fun. I think professional wrestling should be fun.
Something different.
I think there's a lot of pieces in AEW wrestling that is really appealing to adults. And I think the majority of it is in a lot of ways. Some of it can be a lot for little kids, and I think there are some pieces that are neat for smaller ones. Like, I don't let my kids watch a lot of AEW because some of it can be scary. So I think having some bits and pieces that are fun for kids and smaller kids, especially pieces that might be in shorter matches that can hold their attention, I think it's neat. I think Maki is fun. I thought the match was good, and I thought it was good for like a one-off match and something like this that's not a part of a story that's in a tournament. I thought it was a good place and smart booking to incorporate it in something like this. I think if you're putting it into like a long form storytelling, it might be just like, that with the language and everything would be difficult. I thought it was smart to put it in here. And I think it will be I'm really, really excited to see Britt Baker face Toni Storm in the semifinals match. I think that's going to be really, really good.
That's going to be a good match. I don't know who's going to win that.
Oh, it's got to be Britt Baker, right? I don't know. I'm just biased.
I feel like Jamie Hayter
my favorite wrestler, so
I feel like Jamie Hayter might cost her because she costed her that TBS title tournament.
Yeah, I mean they can't stay together forever, right?
Yeah,
they can't. It's gotta go sometime, and I don't know. I don't know. I loved the Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter match, so
yeah, that was a good match.
It was a great match. So I think Toni just makes other people look good, and I think Jamie Hayter does the same. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited. Last match of the night. What? I don't even know where to go with this. This was just it was a whole bunch of chaos. Last match of the night was the Owen Hart Foundation semifinals match. It was Adam Cole versus Jeff Hardy. It was a quick one, guys. It was a quick match. It was fast. I don't really have too much to say about the match because not a lot happened within the match. The winner was Adam Cole with just the bare knee, I think, to Jeff Hardy's head. And he will go on to face either Samoa Joe or Kyle O'Reilly in the finals.
Yeah.
We saw the end of that match erupt into just complete chaos. The Undisputed Elite came down to the ring. We saw a pretty sweet BTE trigger go to Matt Hardy. And then we saw Sting, Darby Allin come down to the ring as well. There was this really great gif going around on Twitter with Kyle O'Reilly and the chair and Sting. Yeah. It was awesome. No sold it. The wiggling, great humorous stuff. Big old super kick to Sting by the Young Bucks. And then we had a very quick cut to American Dad. And I think that will live in our hearts and memories forever. I don't know. I marked that match as HTR, hard to rate. I don't know how to rate that. I don't know what to say.
They really cut it close.
They did.
And then they had Jeff Hardy come out, Adam Cole attacking from behind, and that was pretty much obvious thing to do because you wasted so much. Well, they had the Thunder Rosa segment. And
I didn't even talk about Serena Deeb and the Thunder Rosa segment, which
that kind of took up a little bit of time.
It did. And Dustin Rhodes came out, and I don't want to spend like a whole lot of time on that because our show's only so long. But I thought Serena Deeb's words, although like delivered kind of flatly, were super important and very poignant. And her talks about trials and tribulations and breast implants and pervy Vince McMahon were all on point and really hard hitting and important to hear coming from her. So that's what I have to say about that. But yeah, I don't know. They were just short on time.
I would have liked to see a full-on match with that, but
I was really excited to see a full-on match of that. I really wanted to see Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy and all the things that they could do together in the ring.
And the finish was a clean finish. I expected the Young Bucks to cost them because
I did too.
Like during the night, they had that confrontation with the Young Bucks and the Hardys, and it was a clean finish. But the Young Bucks did come out and set that up. So I think we'll get the Hardys and Young Bucks at the pay-per-view.
I think so too. I'd be excited to watch it. Excited to see it. Yeah, overall, I thought it was a good Dynamite. I thought it was a great Dynamite. I saw people posted on Twitter that it was a generational Dynamite. I don't know that I would go so far. It's definitely not the worst wrestling show I've ever seen. I think all Dynamites are pretty much good Dynamites. I haven't watched a bad one yet.
Seems like a pay-per-view every week.
What's that?
Seems like a pay-per-view every week.
Yeah, it's quality matches every week. Even like their worst match is still a good match. Like, oh, that was a good match. I have not seen one where I'm like, oh, like, why would you put that on a show? Quality across the board. I gave my match of the night, as I already said, to Hangman and Takeshita. And I don't know. The whole of the Dynamite, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, pretty much same for me. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
And I think everything's just going to ramp up as we get closer to Double or Nothing, which is what? What do we have, like one more Dynamite before Double or Nothing?
Yeah, I think next week's the last Dynamite for pay-per-view.
Oh, geez, which leaves us 2 more Rampages. And speaking of Rampage, we have Rampage tomorrow night. Special start time as per usual. Tomorrow's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 6 p.m. Central. We'll see John Moxley and Bryan Danielson versus Dante Martin and Matt Sydal. Sean Spears versus a Giant. We're going to see the House of Black versus Evil Ono, 10 and Fuego del Sol. Scorpio Sky will be on, demanding the return of his TNT championship. I forgot who took it. Was it Ethan Page and what's his name?
Yeah, I think
took his championship.
I think they may have took it.
Did I like space
Well, it could
out?
have been Sammy. I don't know.
Who took his championship? Somebody leave it in the comments. We read them after. Sorry, we don't take the comments during the show. It's a quick one, but we read them all after. So if you could leave that there for us, that would be excellent. Thank you. And then it just said Danhausen and Hook. So I don't know what they're doing, but maybe just, their stuff. Being cool or weird. And then, well, we got 3 minutes left. I think we have 3 minutes to discuss rumors, which gives us a little bit of time. I don't have a lot of like AEW rumors to go through. Besides like MJF and his continued talks, I think I read some stuff that he had like turned down a contract, and then like that he hadn't turned down a contract, that they had talked, and then that they're like now that they're like still talking, but they're on good terms. So I don't know if any of that is true or not.
Yeah, I've seen reports saying that MJF is hardly the only wrestler unhappy in AEW. It's been described as chaotic backstage. I don't know who reported that.
And that everybody's pulling their hair out.
I don't believe everyone. I mean, in every company, someone
like last minute changes.
Yeah, last minute changes, not knowing who's going over, not knowing where your match is going to be at, what place, not knowing the finish of the match, not knowing certain things. But and like I caught that last night because on the bottom they said it was Ray Phoenix and Kyle O'Reilly next. Then they went to commercial and it was Shane Strickland and Keith Lee. Then after that match, and they said it was Ray Phoenix. Then they come back with Jericho. Something I don't know, but like it may could have been commentary putting all that on. I don't know how that all works, but.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not a professional wrestler, and I've never like produced any type of show my entire life. One time in high school, I was in a production of Into the Woods, and I don't remember any of it. So I just went on the stage when they told me to. So I'm assuming all that stuff is really hard and confusing, and yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I know this isn't a AEW, but Stephanie McMahon is
Yeah, all my rumors are WWE.
on leave of absence from WWE.
I did see that. I saw that. It was like what I heard was that nobody in WWE knew it until she posted it to Twitter. And I will say, good for you, Stephanie McMahon. Take that time off. Enjoy your family. That's awesome. That it's awesome for people who are like in a place that can step away from their jobs. Not that Stephanie McMahon is unhappy, but if you are in like a place where you're unhappy, like Sasha and Naomi, if you're not happy with something that you can step away and say like, I'm not going to do this, or I need time to be with my family. And you're in a place where you can do that in your life. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So good for Stephanie for taking some time away. Interesting that like Naomi and Sasha walked away and Stephanie McMahon's taking time away from WWE. Makes you wonder what's going on over there. And that's all I have on like the Naomi and Sasha. That's like the big like news in wrestling world is that
there's not too many details about that either. Just one side of the story, really.
Yeah, and I mean, all I've heard is that like what I keep reading in different articles is that nobody in the WWE locker room like supports them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that comes out of where and like I don't know. I'm not a news journalist. I'm not a sports journalist. Like I don't have like all of the sources. I'm literally just telling you what I read off of Twitter. So don't come at us for like, please. We're just telling you what we read.
If you're going to get on anyone, like go after the person who wrote it.
Yeah, just go scroll through Twitter. That's just what's there. But yeah, hopefully they get the support that they need to be happy in their jobs. And I would love to see Sasha Banks on AEW.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We just speak from our opinions on this side of our wrestling fandom. It would be so cool to see Sasha and Naomi in AEW. I don't think I have much else on the rumor mill. I don't think I have anything of any big stars coming over or anything else like that.
AEW pretty much has everybody, so I don't know who's left.
I don't know who's left. I don't know. I mean, my dream is that one day Randy Orton will go to AEW because he is like the only stan I have left in WWE. I'm a Randy Orton ride or die forever.
I like
I
Randy
mean, he
Orton.
never would. He never would. I know this in my heart.
Yeah.
I love him forever. All right, I think that's all we got. Come back and join us next week for our Dynamite review, Rampage ramp up, and little tiny rumor mill that we read off of Twitter. I'm Carly. I'm Carly B. You can follow me at Carly B88. That's Carly with an I and B spelled like Bumblebee. Connor's at AEW Fan Guy 18 and follow us at the All Elite Zone 1 on Twitter. Like us on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify. The All Elite Zone. It has been great. We will read all the comments that you guys have left on YouTube. And if you have any questions, come at us on Twitter, but don't be mean. We don't tolerate harassers, stalkers, or anything like that. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching.